Hello and welcome to this episode of the Music City Mindset. We can be found underneath the NFM Podcast Network on all streaming platforms. We've got a good one for you today. We're going to sit down and listen to a journey today where someone took two different conflicting things that don't normally go together. And with the right mindset, unified them and created something special. And as I was preparing for this, I realized that there was a deeper message in that. As we continue to navigate our lives in a world where there's people really happy with the current times of the country, and there's other people that are really sad. And I was always taught, ever since I was a kid, that you're supposed to love your neighbor as yourself. And so really, whether you're happy or you're sad right now, let's not forget how we're supposed to love. We may conflict with our neighbor, but if we choose to love them anyway, we keep and remain holding on to that opportunity to unite with them and create something special together. Speaking of together, I couldn't do this on my own. I have a co-host that's been beside me this whole time. He's a husband. He's a father, a high school football coach, a trainer of pro athletes at Training Corner on the IG, Deon Giddens.
Man, I keep telling you, hey, I think it's moved up to like maybe a Mercedes or a Benz or some type of Lamborghini with the
Let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
We'll make that work. Yeah, man, glad to be here, man. Glad to be here for another episode. Yeah, to your point though, yeah, man, it's crazy times right now. But if you remain and keep the main thing,
Yeah.
the main thing is the main thing.
Yeah.
No matter who is doing what right now at this time in our country, it doesn't matter. We still love each other, still treat each other right with respect, and we just still unite, man, and be one.
Exactly. I mean, that is the first letter of the great USA, United.
It is.
Let's not forget that.
Can't forget it.
Season's over?
It's over, man. Unfortunately, but didn't go as we planned. But we had a lot of good things, good times, ups and downs come from it.
Yeah.
The young men learn from it.
Absolutely.
I think they went through something that I don't know if adults could go through, kind of the stuff that they've been through in a 4-year span with this graduating senior class. You know what I mean? From winning back-to-back state titles to being banned their last 2 years. And having that in front of you and still trying to prepare a team to go out and still play, knowing that you can win a championship, like that's tough.
That is tough.
Yeah, man. So hats off to that senior class, man, the whole team, man, for just sticking through. We'll be better. We'll be back next year, though. Yeah,
I will say, I don't know if you feel this way. Maybe like a championship win or something, but there's losses that I experienced that I could tell you the play where the ball went, who pulled out. But I was a part of games that were 50, 60 to nothing, and I couldn't tell you shit about the game. Right? Like, it's the losses that really mean more, that you learn from. So what's something that you, obviously experiencing some of the losses in the season, what's something that you learned from the guys this year, and two-part, what is something that you're excited about, what you already know from what you learned for the guys coming up for the next class next year?
Oh, man, good question. The guys this year, man, they showed a level of maturity in a way that I hadn't seen, meaning that to handle some of the blows and just some of the outside noise and the stuff that we always tell ourselves, hey, just block out distractions and this, but they had a lot of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From whether it's at home or, hey, we're not going to the playoffs. What are we doing this for? People could have kind of just been real selfish. But so you're always fighting that demon anyway, but even more so now. But I saw a group of guys come together and kind of really like override that thing in their mind. And they say, you know what, we're still going to be a team. We're going to be a unit. We're going to perform. I mean, we competed in almost every game except I say maybe 1 or 2 out of 10. So the record could have been real different. But those guys just kind of pretty much blocked out the white noise, and that was big for me to see. That's what I learned. Now, coming back from next year, I'm excited because we had to play a lot of young guys. We dealt with a lot of injuries this year, so we had an opportunity to play like freshmen, sophomores. So they got thrown in the fire. With that being said, now they know what it feels like.
Is the ban off?
The ban is now off.
Okay.
So it changed the game.
Let's go.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
we back at it. That's what I'm saying.
Now they got something to play for.
Right. And now
Chip on the shoulder.
Now, just like any other private school, right, you get guys transferring in from other places. Now that, not that it couldn't happen, but who would want to go to a school that can't play for anything? Changes the game now.
Right.
So now, yeah, we back and running, man. So shout out to those guys, man. Shout out to Lipscomb, man. And you'll be hearing from us. Remember I said it first.
All right. Are you ready for this?
Let's do it, man.
All right.
This dude, not to cut you off, man. I'm reading. Hey,
I
want an autograph before we leave out of here. I'm just gonna. All right, I'm gonna start.
Who we're about to bring on is someone who's become a really good friend of mine. Absolute anomaly of a human being. It's just things that almost don't make sense all into one person. I mean, just listen to this. So we're bringing on our next guest. He has played fiddle professionally for people like Struggle Giddens, Yellow Wolf, Jelly Roll. We've heard those names before. Toured with Yellow Wolf, Kasky, and DJ Paul 36 Mafia all the way in New Zealand. We're going to get into that a little bit more. He's rapped with Ghostface Killah of Wu-Tang. He's now recently released a single with Yellow Wolf called Undeniable that has already reached 500,000 streams just on Spotify alone. Also a diehard New York Rangers fan. Welcome to the stage, Mr. Tulane James.
The Rangers. Wow, this dude, man.
I'm bringing the...
Yeah.
I was just thinking about something.
Yeah.
If I was a race car driver, I think I would use this to practice my driving skills.
That
actually is an actual exercise. Yeah.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Do race car drivers do that?
We do it.
No, I mean, yeah. Just front
okay.
races with a twist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you're driving like an F1 car, there's probably a ton of torque in there.
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah, you gotta get some bands to that?
Yeah, you're driving Le Mans for 15 hours or something like that. Get those forearms strong, man.
What's up, bud?
I'm chilling, man. How y'all doing?
Good, man. Good.
I actually got more questions than answers before we start. Seriously, can I get? Okay, cool.
The floor is yours.
Yeah. Real quick.
This is the first.
I walked in the door and like the first thing I thought, I was like, this dude is an athlete.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool, man. I just love that, man. Like you exude professionalism. I was like, oh, and he was like, oh yeah, this guy trains professional athletes. I'm like, of course, man.
Oh man, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
man. That's the first, dude. See what I'm saying, man?
I really like that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's what's
It's
up,
like
man.
you kind of feel somebody's energy off the rip. And I was listening to you talking about your boys that you coach.
Right.
And I have a question for you.
Okay.
If we could start there.
Yeah, come on.
How old are your guys in your team?
They range, so high school football players ranging from maybe 14 to 18 years old.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, right.
So you said I'm a New York Rangers fan, which this ties in a little bit. There's some players on the Rangers that are like 19 and 20, right? And I'm like, man, these are children. And I was like, wait, they're really just coming out of high school.
Oh, yeah.
So when I was 14, right, man, I just wanted to like skateboard in front of my house. Like I played soccer, you know what I mean? I'm still a great soccer player.
Right.
I played for a very, very long time. But sometimes I think, man, these boys are coming into the NHL at 17 with a mindset of like, I want to
be a pro.
Dude, I want to be a pro, right? And how can they compete with these players that have been seasoned veterans, but they come in and they perform, right? How do you inspire these kids? How do you keep them dedicated? Is it something they already have? Do you tell them, yo, you can, like, where do you see special in these kids? I was 4'11" in ninth grade.
4'11"?
I was 4'11" in ninth grade.
You probably would have been a long snapper or punter.
You know what? I wanted to play. They said, oh, if I played football, I could be a safety. I didn't even know what that meant when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? For real.
I coach defensive back. So to get into that, so you have been the guys covering the wide receivers, right? Coming down, making tackles and all that stuff. But it's twofold though, right? So I think to answer that question, you do see special in some of these kids early.
Okay.
Like it kind of jumps off.
Like
it
at
jumps
14?
Off. Yes, you can see it. Some of them. Actually, I made a post on my Instagram story about a kid who, I mean, I hate to call him a kid now, but he's a junior at Oregon. Jordan James, right? So he played at UNA. He's in college, yeah. So the number one team in the nation, on my IG story right now, if you go to it, I posted it yesterday. I've been training him since he was 9 years old.
Oh, my God.
At 9, I told everybody, and I said, hey, this is a professional athlete. He's going to be a professional running back. I'm telling you right now, this is what he wants to do. And he just passed 1,000 yards last game. I think he'll come out early. I think he'll come out as a junior. If he wants to stay in school and get NIL money from Oregon, then yes. But if you're the number 1 team in the country and you're a 1,000-yard rusher at the starting running back position, I think he leaves for the draft this year.
How do you get that kid to not want to just be on TikTok?
You know what?
You know what I'm saying? For real.
No, it costs.
It's inspiration is so hard to find.
It is.
Even for me as a musician sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And like I see a lot of myself in a 13-year-old that just wants to hang out and be with friends. You know what I'm saying? But this, you're seeing a championship player at 9 years old.
Right. How
do you maintain that? This is fascinating to me.
Man, but I guess what though? Same for you, right, in your craft. But for me, you can't lose that feeling of just wanting to be a kid and be free. I think no matter how old you get, you have to still have a part of that with you. If you lose that, I think you lose the essence and just the pure nature of just being who you are as a person.
Gotcha.
In my personal opinion, right?
I agree.
Now, with that being said, we're in the age now to where, devices and all these distractions, it's night and day. I mean, meaning you wake up to something, you go to sleep to something, in the middle of class is something. But I think it comes from, for those who don't have good support at home, right? We are the support as coaches.
Yes.
So you almost you mentor these kids. You take them in, for me, I have a daughter, so I don't have a son. So for me, I have 2 nephews, right? So the same, I look at my nephews like, hey, they have a father as well, which is fine. My sister is the mother. But for me, I still try to put my touch on the kids, right?
Yeah.
Meaning that, hey, I want to guide you this way. I want to prepare your mind for what's about to come.
I love that.
So that's what you look at. You know what I mean? Of course, you got guys that want to have aspirations of playing college and pro.
And you see that at a young age.
You can see it at a young age.
That's unbelievable.
Do you see more of, like, when you say someone's special, like seeing it, like how they're against other 9-year-olds or something like that? But, like, do you see the difference physically, like performance first, or mentally, or is it a combination of both?
I think once you get to once you start from like 9, it's kind of 50-50, right? Because at that age, guys, the young players want to give up really fast. Meaning, if I don't get this right or score this goal or make this basket, it's the end of the world to them. So the mental part you see first, I think, right? Because some of the guys hadn't really developed yet. But mentally, I'm better than you already. Now, physically, performance-wise, we can work on that.
Yeah.
I got a follow-up.
Yeah.
Now, there's that gifted kid, right, that you see. How far behind is that kid that just wants it, that's just going to work, that's maybe not as gifted, but say, you know what, I'm going to get after it?
Man, guess what?
Do you see that?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to tell you right now. So we have a kid on our team, man. His name is Trip Naiman. So Trip, average-looking white kid, man, we had him at D-line probably 2 years ago. But he moved to safety, which is why this is interesting that it's coming full circle now. He plays safety, right? The position they told you could play if you would have played football. Tripp went from, I guess, third-string D lineman 2 years ago, not playing at all last year. This year as a junior, he actually won the defensive MVP of the team.
See, let's go.
Right?
Wow. Made
huge plays all year long. And keep in mind, he's playing with another one of my guys who's going to LSU, CJ Jim Coley. My other corner, Nick Duke, just signed and committed to Maryville, which is a smaller college. And my other corner, he committed to play baseball at UT Martin, which he still might play football. So we're talking about a talented group. But he won the MVP out of all of those people that we named.
Just busting his ass.
Just busting his ass all year long. You know what I mean? Man. So it's cool to see that.
Where he has to. That's what you got to do to play kind of situation.
Man. So
it's not just handed to you.
Yeah, he earned it. He earned it. So the kids, like I said, they'll earn it. But you will know right away, like, all right, this kid is kind of doing it because his dad has him out here doing something. Or, mom wants him to play basketball, so he's on the team. But so you can tell from early age, kids don't want it. But the ones that do, man, they get on your nerves asking questions, right? For them, it might feel like you get on your nerves, but as a coach, it's like, I like this.
That's right.
I need to. Because you trying to teach me how to play, the fiddle. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Dude, so that's kind of, I try to find inspiration in everything, right? So, like, for example, I mean, let's talk about Wolf for a second.
Yeah.
God, man, what a nightmare. Just it's a genuine nightmare being around that dude. When he cuts up, when I tell you, it took me I don't know, 3 weeks to write my verse, to get my, the bars right.
On the single that's out right now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
This dude in his driver's seat with no music. I'm gonna post this. Actually, I have it.
Right.
I think it took him 10 minutes. He didn't. I started playing the music for him. He said, "Turn it off."
He didn't want the music.
He said, "Nah, I got
no beat, no nothing.
Nothing."
Just in his head, he just had to get his own vibe going.
Just sitting there going.
Dude, that's crazy because like I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like, he snaps on that song.
Dog. He goes in. He had a session that day. He had a session. He goes, "I just need to cut this verse real quick." Goes in, one take. This dude, and goes, "All right, cool." I was like, and that's it. He's like, "Yeah." I can't stand you. So long story long, this dude's just got it.
Some people just have it though.
And I'm hungry, man.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I am not as talented of a writer as he is.
Right.
It just takes time.
Yeah.
I think the quality of my work is up to par.
Right.
Absolutely. I think the quality is starting to compete with him. You know what I'm saying? I think it's starting to compete with other rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just time. But there's something about those dudes that just, well, they kind of drive you, right?
They
you can let it drive you, or you can let it bury you.
To your point, if you
humiliate you.
Yeah.
But it will though, right?
Yeah.
So we talk about this all the time. Like you have to have, if you don't have somebody pushing you, no matter what way, I haven't seen one person be successful without a nemesis or somebody who like, you know what, I gotta be better than that dude.
Yeah.
Like, and
but
it
it's a
can be
nightmare
healthy
too because this is supposed to be an art. You know, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like music is supposed to be art and an outlet, and like there's a book. It's about inspiration. What's a big producer's name? You know what I'm talking about. It'll come to me in a minute. Anyways, it's about artists everywhere, and you just have to be willing to accept it at the time.
Right.
Right. But yeah, it's also a competition to some people, like music in general. It kind of sucks because, you just want to, it's like anything. You want to enjoy it. But if you want it to be bigger than just music, you got to get after it. And it's hard. It's really hard.
Well, I can't imagine because like it seems like, at least aesthetically, like social media and things like that, you're surrounded by people that you could probably say just got it.
Kasky.
On any given IG story,
Bob Styles.
You're with Young Buck. You're in the
God.
You're in the
he
back.
has it.
You're in the back of the pickup truck tied up in that music video the other day.
Yeah. Shout out Wolf for that one. So I could plug his stuff, right? Yeah. Barnfire, man. Yeah. It's me, Young Buck, DJ Clever. That was really cool. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So it seems like you're surrounded by.
Oh my God, it's
all
ridiculous.
The time.
Yeah, 100% of the time. It's ridiculous.
How often do you get to sit back and like?
I never take it for granted.
Just pinch yourself. Like, what the hell is my life right now?
Always. I'll give you an example of this. This is, absolutely, it's insane. I'm fortunate enough that this happened. Jelly's boys are all very, very good friends of mine. Casey, I toured with for years and years. Shout out Casey Strums playing guitar for Jelly. So they played Madison Square Garden. They headlined that.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that here recently too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But as a diehard New York Rangers fan, I've been going to MSG since diapers. They invited me to the Madison Square Garden show. I wasn't even sure if they would be able to get me a ticket, whatever. Right. I was just happy to see them there.
Right.
Not only did they, guest list me, I was able to hang out backstage at Madison Square Garden, and I got to stand side stage when Jelly walked out and I was like, I was in tears. I was literally in tears. I was like, this is my friend that, Jelly and Struggle opened for us when I was playing for Wolf, right? That was our opener, and Jelly's one of the biggest artists on earth now.
Think about how that happens, man.
Crazy. It's the greatest. It's unbelievable. Yeah. I see his face everywhere, and I love it. That big, beautiful smile. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm standing in Madison Square Garden, and I'm not like, look, I'm like ugly crying, dude.
And they're not even cheering for you.
to know one person that is opening at Madison Square Garden.
Right.
To know a sound guy backstage that was is the coolest thing ever. But this guy that I've known for a long time and his amazing band are shredding MSG, and I got to be, you know, a fly on the wall for it. And Post Malone came backstage and hung out for a bit and did a guest song, and you know, we got to chop it up for a minute. I mean, like, what the hell is that?
So part of that is where it happened, right? Like, that means a lot to you. So where did you actually grow up?
In New York. Yeah.
Like
so I was born in Forest Hills, Queens. When I was very young, I moved to Long Island. I went elementary school through middle school in a town called Baldwin, right across the street from Baldwin train station. So like the Baldwin Freeport border, if anybody knows Long Island. And then
never been there.
In high school, I went to Garden City. There's a big mall out there, Roosevelt Field Mall. I lived right across the street from the mall. And then when I was 19 years old, I moved to Manhattan. And then, I mean, I lived in Manhattan, well, you know, in and around the New York City area, Manhattan, Brooklyn, from 19 until like, really like 11 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So there's just a lot of good music that comes out of New York.
Like, my goodness.
What were some of your early, like, inspirations?
The Notorious B.I.G.
Okay, that's your big one?
The Notorious B.I.G. and Wu-Tang. Actually, you're talking about Ghostface. So
how did that happen?
Oh my God!
No, I'm a huge Wu fan. Like I like Wu-Tang. Yeah,
oh man, so
grew up on Wu-Tang.
You're gonna like this.
Yeah.
So I'll just tell you the long form of this. You know, it's kind of funny when you're a kid. You see these videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Wu-Tang Triumph. That's one of my favorite songs of all time ever. And when you're a kid, you're like, yo, let me just make sure I know all these words, just in case. You know what I'm saying? You know, you gotta know it just in case you're hanging out with Wu-Tang someday.
Yeah.
You know what?
I get it though.
It's the crazy. You know, you're 13 or something like that.
I learned all Tupac songs, like thinking one day I might see Pac. I need to rap to him if I see that.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I got
so you need to know all the words from Wu-Tang Triumph if you listen to hip hop in New York. Period. Otherwise, they're like, come on, man, what you doing?
Right.
Yeah. Hey, come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, we were playing Sturgis, which I struggle. I was playing fiddle for struggle. And I don't know who was originally supposed to headline, but we were a couple weeks out for that show. And DJ Scatterbrains and I are talking, and he's like, oh, man, you know, the headliner switched out. Or maybe we were supposed to headline. He's like, oh, we're not headlining anymore. It's going to be somebody else. I was like, who's doing it? And he goes, Ghostface. I said, what? He goes, yeah, Ghostface Killer. I said, you're out of your mind. No, he's not. He's like, yeah. Go. I was like, that means nothing to anyone on this bus except me. This is going to be unbelievable.
How many people were surprised that the fiddle player was the one excited about that?
Oh, man. Well, they know what's up.
Yeah.
They know, yeah. So, we do our set, right? I mean, so, yeah, I'm hanging out with Kareem, our drummer, before our set, and we see him go up, and I was like, oh my God, that's Ghostface, man. Mm-hmm. And Kareem, after we play our set, Kareem goes, oh, I left my drum stuff up in the green room. He's like, yo, Tulane, why don't you come up real quick? Let's go get it. I was like, I bet. So we go up to the green room, and he walks in, and I mean, like, I'm starstruck like crazy. I'm not saying anything, but I let Kareem. Kareem does the talking because he's slick like that. He walks up, he's like, "Yo, Ghost, what's up, man?" And I was like, "Oh, this is really Ghost." I was like, "Hey, man, it's such a pleasure to meet you. I've been a fan since I was a little." He's like, "Yeah, no doubt, no." Like he's really Ghostface all the time.
Yeah, he seems like that though.
Yeah. I appreciate you, man. For real. Like for real, like that. Like standing up. And I was like, I spoke to my buddy Yellow Wolf earlier today. He actually just wanted to pass along that he says what up, and he was like, yo, yeah, tell him I appreciate him. Yeah, for real. I was like, okay, cool, man.
Yeah.
I was like, hey man, have an awesome show. I'll see you out there, right? Dap him up, and then go back out. So we're side stage, man, and he's got his hype man, and I'm in I'm cloud 9, right? And so his hype man comes up to me. He's like, "Yo," he's like, "You know the words to Triumph?" And I was like, "Word." And he looks at Ghost, and Ghost sees me. And he obviously recognized me from upstairs. He's like, "Yeah?" And I was like, "Word." So I'm like half a bottle of tequila in at this point. You know what I'm saying?
I would say I know the juice has got to be flowing.
Yeah, we had just performed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm loose. Otherwise, I mean, I would have probably been pretty nervous. So, Hype Man was like, "Yeah, you got it?" I was like, "Oh, I got it." And Ghost looks at me like, "Yo, yeah, come up, let's go." And I hear, I get chills thinking about it. And I hear the beat drop for Triumph. I was like, "Oh my God!" And there's 3,000 people, or no, there's like 7,000 people in the crowd or something.
Sturgis, right?
Yeah. And I do Inspected Deck's verse. I do Method Man's verse, and then the music stops, right? And this is the craziest thing I've ever done in my life. I said, "Yo, Ghost." He said, "What up?" He didn't even have a microphone. I said, "Let me get one more." He goes, "Yeah." And I do Capadonna's verse a cappella.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's my favorite verse on the song.
Yeah.
For 7,000 people screaming that, so stoked on it. Ghost daps me up. And I get off stage, and I literally sprint around the parking lot. I was so happy, man.
Dude, that's crazy. I mean, that's like a for real bucket list.
Dog, after the
like,
show,
that's bucket list.
I walked up to Ghost and said, "Hey, man, thank you so much." He's like, "Yo, anytime, man. I appreciate you coming out doing that. Your energy was awesome. Super rad. I'll see you around the neighborhood." You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
And, I mean, after the show, and I didn't know this, there was like an area where Strug and everybody was hanging out. And Strug's jaw was on the floor. He's like, "You just shut that show down."
That's crazy.
And I was like, I would never take that from Ghost, but thank you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. You were the man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's a wild story.
One of the best moments I could ever imagine, man.
Then they just dropped the shoe too, Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Yeah, they dropped like the Nike Dunk.
Oh
or something
the
Ghostface just did a collab with Malvin. I play golf too. I've been playing golf since I was a little kid, but Steve Malvin, he's got this. Well, the brand is called Malvin, and him and Ghostface just did a collab, which is pretty cool, and the gear is crazy.
Yeah, they got all kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Whew. That had me all hyped up.
I was ready to grab the mic and I was gonna say, "Hey, play Triumph right now, and we can go verse for verse."
Yeah. All right. So when we come back from the break, I want to get into a little bit of like the last 11 months of your life, and things like that. So we're gonna take a short break and hear from our sponsors
here in Nashville for the 7th Country Music Marathon and Half Marathon. I think it says a lot about the city of Nashville, what it has to offer.
All right, and we are back. We are here with my buddy Tulane. We've been sharing some stories. About 11 months, almost a year ago.
Yeah.
I ran into you walking around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You made it sound like you were just in town for a little bit, dog sitting.
Yeah, I was. Well, yeah, exactly. I wasn't really sure what was gonna happen. You know.
You went from dog sitting to now you and your incredible girlfriend.
Of 9 years.
9 years.
Getting our first place together.
She's great. Yeah, y'all moving
nice.
Moving over off of well, we ain't got to
they come hunt them down like
come see me if you know the Addy.
But y'all are moving here. You're
Yeah.
officially looking at Nashville as a resident.
Yeah.
How long has this actually been in the works? Did this all just happen fast? The reason I ask is, as doing a deep dive, doing some research for the show, I noticed that you dropped a song in 2022.
That sounds about right.
Tennessee?
Yeah. Yeah, that was my first single. New York, Tennessee.
Yeah, New York, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Wow.
did that have obviously something to do with Tennessee? Did you see yourself moving here?
Oh, I saw myself moving here like 12 years ago, to be honest, but I never made the jump. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I first started playing with Wolf, it was something I always considered. But like, you know, New York.
How did that happen?
Playing with Wolf?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Is he from here?
Alabama originally.
Alabama. Yes. Okay. I remember he's been here a while though.
He's
he
like
actually
in
went
Nashville.
to like middle school for like a couple years, and then went back to Alabama. But
so my best friend I grew up with in New York, Chris Murphy, who's since unfortunately passed, but he owned a tattoo shop called Gold Club Electric in downtown Nashville.
Yep.
I was living in New York at the time. Chris gave me a call, and he's like, "Oh, you're not gonna believe who came in here." I was like, "Who's that?" He's like, "Man, Yellow Wolf." I was like, "I feel like I heard him." And I'm, you know, as a New York guy, like, a lot of the Southern stuff just doesn't make its way on to New York. I was like, "Yeah, rings a bell." I was like, "Oh, but I'll see you soon." So I come down to Nashville, and we're hanging out at the shop. And Wolf walked in, and you know, I'm on my New York shit. And I'm like, "Oh, what up, man?" And like, he had a red beanie on and a Harley shirt. I was like, and a leather jacket. I think I had like a very, very similar outfit. I was like, "Man, you just come in here. Why you trying to look like me?" Just being funny, New York guy. He's like, and he looks at me. He goes, "Do you even own a Harley?" And I was like, "No." So it's the very first interaction I had with him. Right. But, you know, we just kind of hung out a little and then like laughed about it and then had a couple drinks, man. And, you know, I mean, you know, we were just homies for years and years and years. And then one day I just kind of, I was like, I think I can do. So I just literally asked, I was like, "You want a fiddle player?" He's like, you do that? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, first thing he said was, "I'll think about it."
Do you actually own a fiddle?
Yeah, I did. I did not at the time.
Oh my god!
I did not.
Wait a minute.
I had not played.
How the hell do you get into?
I was trying to be funny.
I thought you was joking.
No, I did not. I swear.
How do you get into this? What happened to say I just want to be a fiddle player? What in the hell?
Well, I played for you know, third grade, classically, like with orchestras and stuff like that, up until you know, I was probably, you know, in my early 20s. And I put it down for a long time. It's just like I didn't want to play in orchestras. I didn't want to do classical music. It's fun.
I mean, I'm saying
just
like,
the journey from like orchestral second chair to Slum American.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, does anybody in the second chair have tattoos? I don't even know if they do or not. Like,
I'll tell you what. I'll give you the real abridged version of it. But there's a lyric, man. "Become the vision of the mind's eye," and that's from Wolf's song. "Become the vision of the mind's eye." And that has a lot to do with why I decided to give this a go. And shout out, I've never said that out loud, actually.
Right.
Seriously, I've never said that out loud to him. I've never said that out loud to anybody. But there was a night where that came into play, and I said, "Hey, man, what is the vision of my mind's eye?" And I always wanted to do music professionally my whole life, but coming back to what we were talking about before, like, you know, I always thought that, you know, to be a professional athlete, you have to be special. To be a rock star, you know, nobody actually ever does that.
No.
Right? But I heard that line, and I'm like, wait, why not me?
But that's not. But that's the mindset, though, right?
And it flipped. And I asked him, "Yo, do you want a fiddle player?" And he said, "We'll think about it." And then same mindset. I said, "That's not a no."
It's not a no, but it's not a no. It's not though.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not though.
And because he would have said no if he was like, "I'm good on that, man," and I would have respected it. But I said, okay, cool. So I waited a month or two, and there's a song called "Daylight" that Wolf's got, and I just recorded a video of me playing it, and I sent it to him, and he goes, "Yo, yeah." I was like, okay,
you're
cool.
in right now, yeah.
And then I was like, yeah. And then I didn't hear from him for a while, actually. And I was like, I mean, I've known dude for years at this point. I was like, he does not go back on what he said. Like, if he says something, he means it. And I know that. That's one of my best friends in the world. You can consider it. You know what I'm saying? But I got a text message, like, after not hearing him for a while, from a friend of mine that was living here in Nashville. And he was like, "Yo, I heard you're going to be playing for Wolf, playing the violin." I was like, "Oh, you heard that?"
Because you ain't heard anything.
I hadn't heard back since he was like, bet. I ain't heard. It was crickets. And I was like, yeah.
So somebody else told you that you was playing. You didn't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Wolf said yeah. And I was like, okay,
Right.
cool. And I assumed, yeah, but like I just hadn't heard. I know he's busy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like somebody text, yo, you doing, yeah. And then the day it really flipped, and this is when powerlifting kind of took a second, a backseat, was I was at the gym and I got a text. It was like a group chat. It was Wolf, Grant, who played guitar, Keegan, who played the drums, and a couple other dudes who ended up not staying with the band. But it was from Wolf, who said, hey, just so y'all know, this is the new band, and we have a show coming up in a couple weeks. We're going to be playing Kid Rock's Boat. And I said, what the hell are you talking about? Kid Rock's Boat. So I just saw it. I didn't even respond to it. I said to my little brother, I said, I guess Kid Rock's got a boat and we're playing on it. So I'm on the phone with him and I'm expecting like a schooner or something. And he's like, James, you're playing a cruise. You're playing a gigantic cruise. And my first show was with Wolf for like 2,000 people. I almost threw up before the show. But yeah, I mean, it was we were on a cruise for 3 days to the Bahamas.
That's crazy.
Yeah. We played 3 shows in a row.
I mean, you can't make this up.
I can't make it up. No, it's crazy. Kid Rock came out hammered the second night and did Let's Roll with us. And I was like, I'm performing with Kid Rock right now for my second show I've ever played ever. For 3,000 people.
That you didn't know that you was even on the thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, no.
So that was the first show. Y'all end up
touring.
Going on tour.
A long time. Yeah.
So let's talk about New Zealand for a little bit.
Oh, dude.
Had a friend of mine went to New Zealand too. Great man.
So I've never been.
Meaning I haven't been.
Before we go,
yeah.
So I do need to correct something.
Okay.
So you said that I went with Kasky, Paul, and Wolf.
Yeah.
What actually happened was I was supposed to go with Kasky, Paul, and Wolf. What happened is actually kind of cooler in a way, right? Kasky was having visa issues, right? Last minute, he wasn't able to do it. Paul had a prior engagement that he, unfortunately, he was like, I want to do this, but I can't, right? So it ended up just being me and Wolf. And I was like, oh, dude, I really wanted to get out with, Kasky and Paul just the same. And then we get to New Zealand, and Alex, who's Wolf's manager, goes, oh, dude, you have 30 minutes, right? Because you're direct support. And I was like, oh, wait, what? He's like, yeah, no, you're in direct support on this show now, so make sure it's good. I was like, oh, my God.
So now it's you, like,
my
doing your
first
own
tour ever, and my first, Strug let me perform for him, open for him at a couple shows, but my first real tour was direct support for Wolf, completely accidental. And those shows were insane.
Oh, yeah.
And it was my music, So.
That's divine, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you say accidental, but that's just the path that God has had for you to do. You know what I mean?
It was hard for me to even really imagine. My big question about that whole tour was like, what was DJ Paul like in New Zealand? Because what I think about New Zealand, thinking about DJ Paul,
because he ended up not going right.
So I can say, I guess we got to do another tour, and I can find out. You know what I'm saying? I got to go back to New Zealand with Paul.
Okay, so that's crazy because you stay talking to Paul still.
Oh my God, yeah. I cooked him dinner the other night.
Yeah,
Paul's my dog.
Yeah, so like,
I love.
So he didn't go on
him.
that tour, but like, how did y'all end up getting?
I met Paul through Wolf.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, this is such crazy background stuff that's so fun. We were in Iowa, and I didn't even know Paul was coming to this show. And shout out to DJ Paul for, and I'm not making this up, fixing my credit.
I don't know
how
what
did
to
somebody
expect
from
out of
Memphis fix your credit?
especially DJ Paul.
Fixing my credit. Paul is a money master, man. Not only
Wow.
is he a great
that's
person,
dope,
he's a
man.
great
Yeah,
cook.
that's dope.
He's hilarious. So I didn't have a credit card. My credit was not good. And he goes, listen, this is what you got to do. You got to get the Delta Sky Miles card, right? It's going to cost you this amount up front. He's like, use it X amount of times. Do not hold a balance. When you do that, your credit will slowly increase, and you're going to get the Sky Miles points. Fly exclusively with Delta and upgrade your card when you can. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And as you do that, you'll get companion certificates. And then, as your money grows, your credit will increase. So I'm dead serious. I think I had like low 6, maybe 5. I don't know. My credit right now is 804. And it's exclusively because of DJ Paul's advice.
See, shout out to DJ Paul, man.
Yeah, shout out to DJ
Paul.
Shout out
DJ Paul.
I am not kidding.
That is crazy.
He's the one. He's such a great guy.
Did everybody hear that? What happened? We need to all do that. If you don't have 800 credit, this is how you do it.
Yeah,
like,
for real. Yeah, absolutely,
crazy.
Man. And let me give him his flowers, man. I could see him, not see him for 6 months. And I mean, there's one time we were just hanging and just having a little chat, and he looked at me. He's like, "Hey, your girlfriend's Polish, right?" I was like, "You remember that?"
That's such a random thing to remember.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, he's like, yeah. He's like, he's like, it's unbelievable to me. Like, my best friends tell me things, and I forget in 5 minutes.
Right.
And this dude, he's like, such good attention to detail. He's so kind, like, and obviously one of the greatest producers to ever live. You know what I'm saying? On top of all of it. But as a human being, man, I really look up to him. I mean, and him and Wolf have such a great relationship, and they've made such great music through the years. But he's a superstar.
Not to take away from your story, but I don't know how often we'll ever talk about DJ Paul in this podcast. No, right. So DJ Paul might have fixed your credit score, but he helped actually get me suspended from the NCAA.
Oh boy. Was it because Stay Fly came on and you just happened to catch one a little high?
Like even all the 666 Mafia as a whole, man. Oh my goodness, man. You talking about Tennessee, man?
Yeah,
it can get
no
crazy.
lie. 3-6 Mafia performed for the homecoming at Austin Peay.
Oh my God!
And I was because I did 1 year at Austin Peay when I got in trouble at TSU, and I was. With the things I was doing off the field, I was very networked with the party promoters. And this dude hit me up saying, "Hey, I'm like hosting 3-6. Like, I need your help with some things. Like, after parties. Help me out." And I was like, "I got you, dude." So we're walking on the way to practice. This is on like Thursday, so we were still in full pads. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm like cleat spatted. Everything's on. Yeah. Hold my helmet. And my buddy is a promoter. I was walking through. He's standing next to a Mercedes Sprinter van. And he's like, "Yo." I was like, "What's up?" And dapped him up. He goes, "Hey, you want to hit that?" And I looked over, and there's somebody there's holding a blunt. And I was like, I'm looking around. I'm like, "Dog, I can't do that right here."
Right.
And he goes, "Dog, you want to do that?" And I was like, there's coaches walking by on the way to practice field. I was like,
"You're in full football gear?"
Yeah.
You got your helmet on?
Yeah. Oh, hold on. It's not on, but I'm holding it. I'm holding it.
So you walking about to take this.
Coaches
is
are behind me. He's like, "No, you want to hit that?" And I was like, and he was like looking at me like, and I was like, "Dude, I can't. Like, y'all can give." And then I looked, and the hand that was holding it, I like looked, followed the arm, and looked up, and it was DJ Paul.
Oh.
And I was like,
that's hard.
Damn, I like scoot over. So I'm like shoulder
pads in the
Juicy's in the front.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Like, we're just in here.
Yep.
You know how it is in shoulder pads, right?
Dude, you can't do anything.
I'm scrunched in, like,
oh my God,
man. That's a hell of a story. Like, that's wild.
You can't really say no to that.
No,
that's
you couldn't.
crazy.
You couldn't. Of course, I got in trouble, but anyway.
Of course, yeah.
That's worth it.
I drank out of a gas can that night.
Oh my goodness, dude! This is wild.
Yeah. So still talking on Wolf, I don't think in the state of the stories we're kind of telling. So after all of this, I think you showed Wolf enough that he actually signed you not as a fiddle player anymore.
Yeah.
Signed you as an exclusive artist to the Sun American Records. So first off, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's big. Congrats on that, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But you actually got that through playing a golf game?
That's right. You said, "What do you want if you beat me today?" I said, "I want a record deal." You said, "I bet. Let's go."
That's how that happened?
I swear to God.
Dude, he's the most interesting person.
Dude, I knew this was going to be a good one, man.
Yeah, we were playing, and he's like, "What do you want?" Because, I mean.
But he didn't know your background, like you golf? Like.
Oh, no, we've been playing golf for years.
Okay, all right,
he picked up the game a couple of years back.
Okay.
That's, man, we play more golf than we do anything.
Right.
At this point, there was a point we were probably playing like 4 times a week.
And is it just y'all, or do y'all have other people come out?
Oh, we got the Scallywags group, man. We got like our golf gang, and I like that shit is exclusive. And it ain't even on me. Wolf is serious. It's like if you're in the group,
Like you gotta be good at golf.
Yeah, you gotta be good.
So
at golf.
it gets really competitive.
Oh yeah.
Is there anybody else in there that we would know?
I
allowed
mean,
to talk
Buck
about?
came out and played with us before.
Is he good?
He's needs improvement.
Okay,
It was his
okay.
first
Buck's
time
not,
ever.
I know Buck's not good.
It was his first time.
I know.
You know what?
I know
for
him.
First time,
Yeah.
yeah. For first time, he did well. Yeah. I was impressed. But
He's the jumping on our training sessions back in the day.
Oh, for real?
But yeah,
Did he
man.
really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
he
Yeah.
is the best.
Yeah, man.
I
He's crazy.
love him.
He's
So let me plug him real quick. He's opening up a bar on my block
really
on 22nd and Buchanan. Yeah, called the Locker Room.
okay.
Yeah, shout out to Young Buck, man. It's gonna be really, really cool. I'm
Buck
excited
shot.
for
What
him.
up? All right, shout out to Buck, man.
Buchanan's growing, baby.
That's right.
See how that work?
Yeah.
My grandmother stays like right around the corner from all this stuff. It's wild, man.
Yeah.
Nashville.
Yeah.
You never know what you're gonna get in Nashville, man. Like it's you just don't know these days. It's
No,
crazy.
you don't. You never know who you're gonna.
You never know what you can
Yeah.
see on the golf course when Young Buck comes out with a gold chain and all white golf outfit and an ankle monitor. You know what I'm saying? That was the coolest thing I ever seen in my life.
Dude,
That's not even crazy for me to say. He filmed it and put it like.
I'm gonna say it has to be on video. Like I know he would do the video.
That wasn't
yeah.
that long ago.
No. I would never say anything that that Buck wouldn't
Right.
consider. I mean, it was
goodness.
filmed. It's on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
but that was, I was like, this is the coolest. That, and I played with John Daly. That was unbelievable. If you're familiar with him.
Oh yeah.
I played a round of golf with John. That's online with rapping with Ghostface. Is playing golf with John Daly. I think that those two things are very comparable.
I gotta start playing golf.
You gotta
Yeah.
start playing golf, man.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a lot of. I hear there's a lot of deals done.
The deals are made on the golf course.
Yeah, and
though.
at a bar.
You know what I mean?
2 places, at the
Yeah.
bar and at the golf course. That's where it happens. Where all business is done, man. Yeah, that's real life.
What I mean, so I don't even know where to go. This has
Yeah, it's
been wild.
crazy.
What's your Undeniable's been going. You've been featuring
Yeah.
and like popping in on some other things, but like as far as Tulane itself, like where are you going? What's next for you? What's on the horizon?
That's a great question. So, Wolf is working with another art with Everlast right now. He's kind of a record on him, which is very exciting. But he's super focused on that right now. I'm sitting on like 5 or 6 songs. I want to play him, and all of them or none of them could be in the direction that he sees best for me. Mm-hmm. And whatever that is, I'm gonna be. I mean, yeah, I trust his vision. I trust his management his artistic, visions.
In the
And it
world
might
of-
be back to the drawing board. And
Yeah.
the thing is with him, with hip hop, with music, there's no wiggle room. Like, he's one of the best rappers ever. Like, I'll say it. So he has a very, very high standard of excellence. And I'm really liking the New York drill sound. I'm feeling that right now. I've been experimenting a little bit with some other styles, but that's shout out to Doobie. He's putting out like rock and roll stuff right now that is unbelievable. He just put his single out in his music video, which I was fortunate enough to be in also. That was really cool. They filmed the whole thing in one take. They did it was like they filmed it in 30 seconds and they slowed the video down to 2.5 minutes, the length of the song.
Oh man, that's
It's
crazy.
very, very cool,
What?
man.
Like, I
The
bet that
early
looks
bird gets
crazy,
the
yeah.
whiskey. That's the name of the song.
That's the name of the song.
Yeah,
So
shout
the
out-
whole music video, can you tell it's in slow mo?
Oh yeah.
When you're watching?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, 100%. They filmed it in one take. It's very cool. It's very, very cool.
I had to check that out just to see like the artistic
Yeah.
side of that, man.
Yeah.
Like the
Oh, it's
creation,
beautiful.
creative side of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole story. It's really cool. But I'm willing to work with Wolf to create the best product possible. I just want to continue to get my name out there. I want to continue to do more of these podcasts. This is fun. I love
This
doing
has been
I
a-
appreciate
this has
it.
been a
It is
blast,
crazy.
dog, for
Yeah.
real.
This-
Well,
Yeah.
Wolf is starting a podcast too, and I'm going to be cooking on that.
Yes, chef.
Yeah, chef. And Malay as well, who's another producer. He did Frank Ocean's Orange.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
the album you're talking about.
Yeah. It's got like, a billion
Right.
award, whatever.
Yeah.
So Malay not only is an unbelievable producer, he's one of the best cooks I've ever seen in restaurants or not. This dude is
the stuff you put out though.
I honestly, man, I got some things to learn from Malay.
Really?
Oh yeah, he's a maniac in the kitchen. He's a superstar, dude. But yeah, so I digress. Trying to find the right sound. I really like what I'm doing right now. I want to kind of continue to push that drill thing, but like Wolf might have something in the bag to, you know, that might go. I don't know. We'll see. But like I said, I got to play him all my new stuff that I'm sitting on right now. And yeah, who knows? And if there's something I'm madly in love with, I will push to you know, or maybe things need tweaks. Nothing's ever finished until it's out, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So anything could be modified. But yeah, slow and steady.
There it is, man. A lot of good stuff going on.
I feel like my adrenaline's like coming down. Like that was.
Yeah, this been one of them things, man.
What an episode! Yeah,
we should have like a heart monitor on.
I know.
See, like throughout the.
You got to get a Whoop sponsor.
Yeah. See, there. Yeah, we need all that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we need all that stuff. He had the energy up today.
Yeah,
for sure.
This was
Tulane, my guy.
Yeah,
man.
Well, I hate to end this podcast, man, but guess what? We got to sign off. Make sure, because I loved it. I know you all did too. Make sure you like, subscribe, click that link, man, and stay tuned, man. We're going to have a lot more of this good stuff coming up here in the future, man.
Thank y'all both for having me.
Oh, for sure, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was fun, man.
I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
And for the love of Nashville, tune into the next episode.